broadcast successful. That's what I always like to see that when we begin these things. And hello and welcome everybody to Broadcasting Your Community. I'm David Burrows and my friend and host as well, Steven Healey. How are you, sir?
I'm fine, thank you, David. Things are good, apart from the odd bit of rain in the UK at the moment. And I'm looking forward to today's show. Really am.
Yeah.
I mean, this is groundbreaking, as they say.
Yeah, it really is, you know, and weather update here is we had rain and warm, plus 10, which is nice for this time of year. And now my poor son is outside shoveling snow.
Oh.
Changes overnight here lately. Mother Nature's, well, she's smoking something funny. I don't know. She's Mother Nature. She can do whatever she wants, I guess.
Oh, yeah, totally in control. And we've got to go. I mean, we're used to having the seasons, but the thing is, this time of year, you can either have a sunny day, a rainy day, or a snowy day, and it's potluck, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Well, you mentioned groundbreaking here. This is different for us because we're normally on a different platform, and today we're using a Livestream. And this is something that, well, both you and I think we're probably using before we actually met, and then we kind of discovered we were both using it for quite some time. So,
yeah,
I'll let you lead off on this because our topics are we got about 4 topics, and who knows if we'll stick to it all. But let's talk about Livestream, and it's a cloud platform, right?
I mean, that's it. And welcome to Kevin. Kevin's just joined in the green room. This is it. I can see everybody. Even as a guest, I can see everybody. Right, we're on Livestream today. I'm actually able to watch in my browser as well. But from where I'm sat today, I can see David. I can see the next person who's going to join us on the show, Kevin. I can see the stream output, so I know what's happening live. I can see what a good job David's done of the show, because this really does allow you to go live and be creative with the information that's, you can lay it out. And the other thing it allows you, we can go out in 1080p to YouTube, to Facebook, to Twitch, and via RTMP to any site that accepts RTMP, like Periscope.
Right.
I think that the key thing is, first thing is that there are up to 8 people on screen, and you set up a screen to do that, haven't you?
Yes, and so the trick here is right now for you to keep talking so that I can set up you and our guest in the next scene. That's
right. Okay,
a little tricky.
It is a little tricky, but the thing about Livestream is it is currently free to use. It is up to 8 people on screen. You can share images. You can share your screen. You can upload videos, which you can replay at any time during the show, 200 megabyte limit. In addition to that, you can bring in an RTMP source. Say if you've got an external source like vMix or OBS or Minicam, then you can bring those in directly. And also you can do RTMP out, which means that you're not restricted to going to Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. You can go anywhere you like.
Yeah, and that's what we're doing right now. We're live on Facebook, Periscope, and Twitch, and YouTube all at the same time. So, I mean, that's flexible, I guess,
Yeah, I can see somebody's actually watching us live on Facebook and is in the green room at the same time. I can see Robert, you see. This is the thing about it. I know that the 2 of us live on screen at the moment, but I also know that Kevin and Robert are in the... now we go with the magic.
Yeah.
Hello, Robert. Now, Robert will appear on your screens in a moment. He's currently in transit. He's rushing to get here. And in 5, 4, 3, 2, well, pretty soon.
I'm still, this is the thing, is I'm still setting them up.
Oh, right. Okay. Sorry.
We're going to have to learn. I'm a little slow.
We're going to have to learn a new way of doing things. But over time, it'll become second nature and become slick. Right, so anybody who's been watching me for the last few minutes talking to Robert, I can see Robert. Robert can hear me, but you can't yet. And I can see Kevin, and I'm just waiting for. You going to go for a countdown, David, or?
No, I'm still. I'm struggling here.
Right. Okay.
Well,
so I'm on my own.
on
This is Livestream. In a moment, you'll see 4 people on screen. We can have up to 8 people on screen. We can go out to Facebook, YouTube, and to Twitch and to Periscope, and it is currently free to use. And it just takes minutes to get going. In actual fact, I'm doing a webinar about it tomorrow. Yes, this is, you see, it's going to take a bit of getting used to, is this? Because right, a message from Kevin. He's having a hard time seeing and hearing anyone. He's refreshed 3 times. It could be the connection. I think, Kevin, if you're watching this, then yes, there are problems with your connection. And your picture was a bit, but that's all. Now, David, how are we doing?
I'm almost there. I think my computer's the problem.
Okay. And Robert's still swimming his way here. Right. Okay. So, as I say, this is Livestream. I'm still busking it. We cannot see the Facebook comments from within Livestream at the moment, though we're advised that will soon be on its way. And
I do have an alternative to that, which I will talk about in just a moment.
All right, okay.
Just about got Robert going here, but all right, we're going to give this a go.
Okay. Right, well, I'm not going to count down this time, Robert. Okay. Robert
is there.
Hello.
Am I here?
You are here.
If you look at the right-hand side, you'll see the stream output.
Oh, because it says green room on the left-hand side still, so that's why I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
Down below that.
But on the right-hand side, you've got.
Oh, now I see it. Okay, because I'm looking here too.
All right. Okay. Well, that's basically yes. Yeah, that's the.
David put me in the little box.
Well, it's only because he set up the screen originally for 7 people, and has to do a quick bit of manipulation, which we hope you didn't feel. Sorry, David.
So what happened for me there? So I was in a different scene setting things up, and while the cloud is slows or makes things a little better for your processor. I don't know why. Might be my computer was just it was sluggish for me to move things around because I had to move Robert in and I had to resize him on a scene that wasn't visible yet, right? So
could you take off?
So no, I can only do so much.
Oh, thanks.
I can only do so much.
So this is Livestream.
This is definitely Livestream.
Now on my screen, it's got the name of the person and then the person, and then I can actually do the volume control of the 2 of you for hearing purposes.
That's
but
true.
The funny part is the name on all 3 says Robert C. Stern.
Oh, I've got Stephen, David Burrows, and Robert C. Stern.
Mine all 3 say my name.
I guess you're just that popular.
And I looked 3 different views.
Right. Well, on the if you look at the live above David, it says David Burrows, and he's got his Canadian flag there.
Yeah. No, I'm just talking about my view.
All right. Okay.
In fact, I'm screenshotting it so this way they can send it to them.
That would be good. I'm going to take a few screenshots as well. Because because this is indeed a first.
So what made you use Livestream today?
Because
Why not? Yeah, go ahead,
why
Steven.
not? Why not? Why not is the question to that.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah. Basically, Livestream technically is probably the best platform out there. We've been using it on YouTube for quite a while, and David's been using it on Twitch. And the integration of Facebook comments is on the way. Not that I'm trying to put any pressure on anybody, but by actually going live with Livestream and sort of saying we need the comments, it's a lot better than saying we need the comments and never using the DON system. So that was the logic.
Yeah, I have the phone next to it so I can see the comments.
Right.
I can actually see the comments if someone makes a comment. So because the system that I'm using to broadcast this out to all those different platforms is Restream. So
the Facebook comments go into yours?
So Restream has a web chat that will link you to, or one that you can download onto your system itself. And it's supposed to link all the platforms together, so I see the chats all in one screen. Follow?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, there's only 2 comments on there right now, so.
Okay. No problem. Yeah,
I only see one comment on the Facebook.
There's me saying, hello, fine sirs, and then Peter Stewart chimed in, watching. I can't join on an iPad, seemingly.
Well, no. Right, that's the 2 things missing, if we're being totally out. One is the integration of Facebook comments. The other thing is there is not a mobile app.
Not yet.
And not yet, but you can't join via the web on mobile.
Yeah, that's the problem with iPads. They're actually classified as mobile, even though most people use them as their computer.
Indeed they do. Indeed they do. And it's a real shame that Peter can't get in on his iPad. Now, that said, anything happening, Robert? It's been quiet for a week now, hasn't it? It's getting unsettling. Facebook haven't done anything.
Oh, I'm just waiting for the ball to drop.
Which one?
Which one?
Facebook ball, and we're due for a LinkedIn drop, I think.
Were you expecting an update to what on LinkedIn?
We're due for one. Snapchat laid theirs last week, where now you can share the stories from that Snapchat to Facebook.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to get a few things this week. I'm kind of gearing up for it.
So is that a prediction, or is this something you've heard?
No, it's a prediction. I think there's some things are going to come out this week.
Oh, okay. What makes you think that?
January. Just kind of end it with a boom.
Yeah. Why do you predict that? What's making you feel
Mark Zuckerberg did his thing a couple weeks ago, but that was more about algorithm. I think there's going to be some feature that comes out on some platform this week that everybody's going to be like,
okay.
Just have that feeling. It's like, when it's going to snow and your bones get cold. I just get the feeling we're due for some sort of new feature. Hey, it could be the 4th box on BeLive. I don't know. It just, I feel like something's going to hit.
Yeah. Well, we know that's coming, right? For sure.
We just don't know when.
That's coming. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, the social media world, we always seem to keep asking for more features, and they seem to keep giving it to us. But sooner or later, we're going to have to pay in some shape or form.
That's true.
Indeed. Yeah, I mean, the BeLive model is working for BeLive, one presumes. And Livestream has said that it's currently free, but there will be a subscription model with additional features, obviously. But for the moment, the joy of it is that this platform is free to use.
Yeah.
Well, what's happening over here in the States is also going to predict a lot of stuff with the net neutrality.
What impact do you think that will have?
Well, if they go the way that Congress wants it to go, we'll be paying more on our Wi-Fi and cable bills to be able to go to Facebook or to go to Twitter or to go to certain things. They're going to have those websites as part of your packages.
Yeah. How near in the future do you think this is, and how realistic is all of this?
Well, I think it's a joke. I don't think they should be monitoring what sites you can go to and at the same time make money off it. That to me is the problem. But at the same time, I mean, I don't know. I mean, even if they went ahead and did this whole thing, it's still going to take a while to put together. Could be a year away by the time it's put in place. But it's going to affect a lot of people.
Do you think this will really happen?
Oh yeah, no doubt about it.
Things have.
Yeah, I mean, we are fortunate in that since the beginning of the internet, we haven't had to pay for the internet itself. We're paying for access to it through our internet service providers. And that model works for the internet service providers. It allows them to actually fund the infrastructure that's required. But things are going to change. Yeah, because this is potentially a giant money-making machine.
Right. I just don't know how you regulate it. Like it's so huge.
Well, and I mean, China regulates it. They regulate it by actually blocking certain websites.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
it's not even just China, in parts of the Middle East.
Yeah. Well, even in the UK, there are certain websites that are not allowed into the UK. And those will be websites which have the purpose of recruiting people for IS. Mm-hmm. Such websites just aren't allowed. So there is some censorship going on. It's different in every country. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But
just companies do it now. Schools and companies where they'll have Wi-Fi available in the company, or they have the internet involved with the company, but you can't log on to Amazon to buy stuff while you're working.
Yep.
Yeah.
Technology is there to do it.
Yeah, you say it goes on at that level too. So things are changing. The only thing we do know is going to cost us more.
Yeah.
And we've got freedom at the moment. We can type something into a search engine. We can go off to a website. We can read all about what's on the website. Nobody stops us. Yeah, from the point of the Big Brother in 1984, rewritten in 2020, and with hindsight, 2020 vision. Sorry, I've got my metaphors mixed up there. I've got two books there though. Yeah, interesting times. And talking of interesting times and times, really, how often should you broadcast? Robert first.
I think that's a matter of opinion and also what you're doing with your broadcasts. I mean, as a show like we're talking about, I think shows are weekly. Some people do shows daily. It depends on what your value and what your content is. If you're providing great content, people aren't going to care if you're daily, if your content is good every day.
Well, I keep quoting David because I asked David a few months ago, how often should you go live? And his reply is a classic. It's, well, you say it there because it was your words. I just keep quoting them. Go live when you want.
Yep.
And if the as Robert said, if the quality of the content is good, then people will.
There's no rules to how but I it's a question that I know I get asked from people often there. So I want to do this thing, and how often do you want to do it? Well, first of all, I think one of the first questions to ask yourself is, so what am I putting out there? And you might want to go live 7 days a week, but can you? Like, there's a commitment that's involved to it as well, right?
Yep.
So, I mean, I'm looking at taking my weekly show. I haven't really announced it yet or anything, but I'm going to change my weekly recorded show into a live show, and it'll probably be every Monday night at 7:00. So every Monday night at 7:00, the rest of the world, including my family, has to leave me alone. And my wife asked a question, a fair question. She said, "So what if we go away?" I said, "Well, I'll do it while we're away, or if you want me all to yourself, then I'll skip a week." I mean,
or you can record one for that week.
Yeah, that's right. I can record one for that week. And her concern was, because I have done, well, this week coming out will be my episode 326. So I've done 326 recorded episodes, never missed a week, ever. Even when we were away, I pre-recorded them and had them scheduled.
You say away, you were on honeymoon.
Yes, we were on honeymoon. So, and she was going to allow me to do the broadcast live from Mexico, but I just said, yeah, you know what? So, but the point being is, her concern was she didn't want me to break my record of having 300 and whatever consecutive weeks, right? So, I mean, there's ways to cover it. You just say, hey, I'm, television networks take a break, so it's okay to take a break, but then come back on your regular schedule. I mean, people understand vacations and that sort of thing, right?
Oh, yeah.
But it's fair to let your audience know that you're taking a break and what you're doing.
Exactly.
Because you ask them to be loyal to you and show up at a certain time or whatever every week. So it's only fair to let them know if you're changing something, right? Now, that being said, my recorded show being recorded, there's a new episode comes out by 9:00 every Wednesday, but I might have it online by midnight the night before or whatever. So they watch it whenever they want. Now it's going to be different because it'll be live for an hour, right? So I'm curious to see how that affects and changes my audience by doing that, but we'll see what happens. But back to the question of, can you broadcast too much? I don't think so. I mean, unless you're tagging all your friends in it and tagging people who really, like, I don't tag people in anything unless I know I have their permission to go, hey, whenever I go live or do something, are you okay if I tag you? And they're like, yeah, sure. But to just tag people because you think they might be interested or you're hoping to catch their attention, to me, that's Facebook spamming. But I don't think you can broadcast too much unless you're really annoying people.
Well, that's it. If the content is valuable, people will love it. If it's not, they're going to turn you off.
And it's okay if they turn you off. If you're doing cat videos all the time, people who really like cats might tune in all the time. I don't know.
Who knows the secret sauce?
Well, that's just it. We're always looking for that cookie cutter, right? But
I think the beauty, like today, we're actually sort of experimenting because we're actually on a platform that we haven't brought to Facebook before. But the thing is, you can experiment and you can go live when you want. You can go live on Facebook Live, just you, for 10, 20 minutes and reach out to your friends. You can go live on your business page and nobody will see you. You've got various options. I mean, there are two sides to this coin. Do you want to be seen or not?
Well, and the other thing too is like, we call this experimenting. Like I've had a couple of spoofs already. Like I had Michelle Dion go live before this, and I forgot to change the title before we went live. So we are actually Positive Power with Michelle Dion everywhere as well.
Now, I'm going to be polite here, but that confused the heck out of me because I was looking for the show. And it had the wrong title on it.
Hi, I'm Dion.
So we're Michelle Dion right now. So she's watching Sorry Michelle, but she'll be like, hey, we'll get lots of attention. So yeah, on Twitter and Twitch and everywhere. Anyway, I've changed it, but I don't know if it'll update. So, but there's something like I could have said to myself too, and this is another thing, like go live whenever. I could have said, oh, I'm not sure how that works, or I'm not sure if, oh, crap, I got that wrong. And I could have talked myself out of going live.
That's true.
But instead, I just said, whatever, here we go. We're doing our show. Is it going to be perfect? Probably not.
No. I mean, if it was perfect, there'd be something wrong.
Wouldn't be any fun.
No, it wouldn't. It would not be any fun at all. Right, okay. Whilst we're actually broadcasting on Livestream, I just want to point out one or two things which I love about Livestream. And Robert can see the same screen as I can. David's in control, but Robert and I can see the screen. And for the first time for ages, we can see each other, but not on the broadcast. We can see each other on the web page. And that means that as a guest, you can see who else is in the room. And when you go live, you actually got what's going. The guest experience here is the best I've seen because we can see each other in the room and we can see the stream output as well. And checking your CPU, it's not straining at all.
Yeah.
Well, a few times I've watched, and David's been getting some green streaks on my computer. So I don't know what that is.
I've got a blue and green line on David's screen at the moment. Now I've got a green line. I think that's just fluctuations in the signal.
Yeah, I've seen that happen before.
Yeah. But the
user Canadian internet, because obviously it's not happening in the United Kingdom. So
it's not British internet. I mean, look at this. I mean, 1080p. I mean, come on. It's probably what's putting the strain on David's machine.
Yeah.
Just let me down to 340.
And this is the thing: is being in the cloud, it doesn't strain your processor as much, but it still does. And I've got Facebook open as well, so I'm going to close that now and see if that makes any kind of difference. You know, I've got a few things open as well, and I'm on an older computer as well. I'm not going to lie; it's it's 4 years old, so I probably need some more memory or something like that as well. So, but it's working for the most part. And we have to understand too, we're not comparing this directly to something else like BeLive because they're totally different. BeLive is a beginner's easy go live, easy to set up, easy to change scenes. It's all right there. There's a lot more flexibility that you can do with Lightstream, like setting up all these graphics. I designed all these graphics, put them all together. I've got 8 different scenes going on here that I can, you can have 7 people on. There's a lot more advanced, I guess, tools in Lightstream than there would be in, say, BeLive. All right. And I'm alone now. So for these who are watching, so we just had a spoof. Oh, there we go. And Steven's back. We're still live. I just have to bring you back in now. So for those of you, I don't know. I stayed. Yeah, I haven't brought you guys live yet. That's why. Yeah, that's right. They're only hearing me. So I have Steven back now, and Robert is in the green room, and we're able to mute him as well if we want. So yeah, so I had to set you back up, resize your camera back in here. So, I mean, that again is one of the differences between Lightstream and some other platforms is everything else is pre-laid out for you in other platforms. So there is some learning curve there, I guess. Okay. Oh, for sure.
How are we doing?
Well, I've got you in the air. I'm just working on having Robert join us, so he's not, and nobody can hear you, Robert. All right, and Robert's joined us now.
Oh, again. Yeah, that was a weird glitch.
Nothing's perfect. My Canadian internet was working fine.
Here we go.
I guess. Must have been the use. Yeah. So you're doing a webinar. This is something new for you, and why do you? What makes you feel like that's not gonna like you're nervous about it, or?
No.
Yeah. Right. On myself? Well, I would have to agree with you. I think as if I've been invited to a webinar, come check out this webinar. Depending on how it was pitched to me, if it was pitched to me by a friend, then I might be going to learn about a new business opportunity or a new product. Or I would say that's fair to say that I'm expecting at some point somebody's going to give me a pitch, and hopefully expect at some point for me to pull out my wallet. Not that that's a bad thing, because some people go, oh, you just want to sell me something. Yeah, maybe, but what if I'm selling you something great? I mean, it's not. I just always go in with an open mind, but I do think some people have some kind of expectation as what's happening as compared to when we just go live like we are now. We're not selling anything.
Depends what the webinar is for. There are people that charge for webinars. Well, you're not going to do a necessarily hard sales pitch if you're paying to see the webinar, because that's more of a teaching type of style situation.
Yeah, but you've paid for it.
On the coin, if it's a free webinar, yeah, there's going to be some sort of pitch, and you kind of expect that. But you could still teach and train and show your knowledge and everything, which to me is the same exact thing as social media. When we go on live streaming every week, on your show with Tina, on David's show, on my shows, on your show with Brigetti, you're showing your experience, you're showing your information, you're showing your knowledge, all that stuff all the time. We are always selling when we are on live stream. We're selling ourselves. I don't look at it as a webinar different than a live stream to me. It's my mentality. It's going to be the same thing. I got people watching. They're going to ask questions, and I'm going to talk about a subject. Of course. I do pitches on live streams. There's always a call to action. Like my page, subscribe to my YouTube channel, get my free PDF, join my Udemy club. There's always a pitch. It's how big of a pitch you want to make it. I did it with my social power with Jessica, our group. I popped that in there. I'm always pitching little things here and there, how I can help. But that's because I'm using it for business. You know, we're not all, well off like David that can just do, hockey shows all the time.
Oh, I see.
For you, my advice, just treat it like you were on Be Live.
Yeah.
And the only difference is stay on your agenda.
What that really says is don't invite Robert Stern.
Jason Franco just chimed in on Facebook and says, I don't hear Steven. Jason Franco on the Facebook Live. Yeah. He says, I don't hear Steven. So, Jason, go out and come in and tell me if it works again. That's why I always like to have my phone up.
Yeah, you stay there, Steven.
Yeah, please let us know. I just turned up my phone. I don't hear you either. I heard David say, no, so, you stay there, Steven.
Okay, so I'm working on it, guys.
Okay. Well, I just wanted to let you know, my phone, I couldn't hear Steven from the Facebook side.
Yep, I got it. No, I mean, I everybody's telling me I got it. I'm working on it. Well, no, don't go anywhere.
He's saying don't go anywhere. But you know what's interesting, David? You're on the excuse me. On Facebook Live, I see you moving and doing stuff, but on my computer screen, you're frozen. Well, online they can't hear you. We still hear you.
No. Just a moment. I'll let you know when I got you fixed.
No, I'm here. I was staring at the camera. I actually got to get off in a minute too, anyway, because I got to get ready for stuff. So I know you saw my little Monday Facebook Live this morning, and that's something. Even like you say, can you do too much? I just go on and do those little 6-7 minute things. Boom.
Well, I've lost you both again. Yes, Robert, I can always hear you. Yeah. Steven's gone too. You're back now, but nobody can hear you, so there's no point in talking while I'm trying to set you up. Okay. Thank you. All right. Thanks for joining, Robert. So I'm back by myself for those of you who are watching. So this is one of the reasons why we did this today. We want to try a different platform, a little experimenting, and some glitches, but that's live streaming. But don't let that stop you from trying it out. You go to lightstream.com and check out their platform. I think Steven's coming back here. Not sure yet. He's trying. Hi, Steven. I will get you back in scene in just a moment. I'm talking to myself again. And for those of you who are watching, yes, we're here on Lightstream. Lightstream.com is the website. And honestly, the glitches we've had, I think, might be something more at my end. I'm not sure. It's hard to say. But I've almost got my friend Steven Healey in here. And bringing Steven live here in just a moment. Okay. And you're back.
I'm back.
Now I'll find out if I can hear you.
Okay, I'm in Wiltshire in the UK, and we're having one or two little glitches with the internet connection, and I'm back. This is the thing about a live show. If something goes wrong, be patient, don't panic. Check this. I speed tested my internet, and it says I'm okay. I'm over the minimum requirements. In fact, I've got an abundance of internet at the moment.
We can hear you loud and clear now.
Good. Okay. Well, in that case, for anyone who didn't hear earlier, I'm challenging myself to do a webinar tomorrow in private with just one viewer. And I've just been advised by Robert Stern to actually just be myself. And that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah, well, I think that's good advice, too, because, I think sometimes even just the going live, just to, never mind the webinar, just going live, I think sometimes people try to, unless you're creating a show that's you're a character of something, but just be yourself, because that's what people, and especially the first time you start going live, the ones that see you are the ones that already know you. Chances are on your Facebook, they're people that have met you in person, likely. So that's be yourself.
This is exactly what I said on Saturday in the Be Livers group, because we see some awesome people who actually leap out the screen. But that's because they are using a personality to do that. And in reality, they're normal folk. And when you chat to them, they're just like you and I are now. But they have this online persona which sort of leaps out at you from the camera. And I mean, I tried that. I've tried sort of being forceful on camera and saying everything at the top of my voice and screaming and shouting and getting all excited. But it's not me. So
yeah,
what's the, I mean, the thing is, I watch shows, and I'm not going to mention any names here because I get shot if I did. But you watch shows, and the person doing them is going at full pelt all the time. There's no switching between the hard and the soft. They're going hard at it all the time, and shouting at the microphone. And the effect is that you want to get away from it. You want to run off and watch something else that's a bit more easy on the ears. So, I mean, there are different styles. If you go on YouTube, some of the successful channels on YouTube are people who shout at you, and that's what you go there for. You actually go there to be shouted at. But if you're in a chat show environment, especially on Facebook, then people don't expect this hyperactive personality to appear on screen for more than a few minutes. They expect it to go back to normal. But that's my sort of getting on my soapbox and saying what I think about being yourself on video.
Well, I think you're right. I mean, it depends on your audience. I mean, everybody, some people watch, how to cook, and some people watch how to not cook,
Yep.
So, I mean, it's all the different personalities. But I think you're right, though, in something like this, we're having a conversation. So have a conversation. You wouldn't have a conversation, hey, Steven, how's it going? Man, I'm so happy to see you. And man, this sort of thing, we're having a great time. And wow, I'm so glad you're having rain over there in the UK. And what do you, like...
Yeah. I mean, on
That's
radio...
not how I'd have a conversation. That's how I'd be at a soccer game.
Yeah, well, you can do that on radio, can't you? Because people can't see you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, on radio, you've got to be more animated because you've got to keep your audience involved. When you're on video, you just look at, well, I'm not saying anybody does look at Pratt, but you can look at Pratt.
Yeah. I adapt, right? I mean, sometimes if I'm emceeing an event or something, I'm a little more excited probably and jumping up and down or whatever, but that depends. And that depends what I'm emceeing too. If I'm emceeing introducing a band at a concert, I'm only up there for 15 seconds anyway.
That's it.
So it's like, here we go. If I'm emceeing an event of sort where it's throughout the night, then I'm a different person, and I'm a different person on here right now than I would be, if I was out and about having some social fun. So, but I know what you're saying. I don't think people want to be shouted at or whatever for the whole hour, whatever. Which brings us kind of into our next topic, staying on agenda.
Nice try.
Can you broadcast too much? Like we talked about how long should you broadcast? Or no, we already talked about can you broadcast too much? Sorry, we did it bass backwards there. How long should you broadcast?
Right. Well, there are sort of norms which have come about over time on Facebook, and if you broadcast on Facebook, what you'll notice is that there's a pickup at the beginning, there's a pickup halfway through, and then there's a tail off round about an hour's time. And we've been on shows and we've seen that as soon as we hit the hour mark, half the audience disappears because they're going on to the next show.
Right.
So I think that unless you have something which you need to do more than an hour for, I would say that an hour is sort of the, what do you feel?
Well, I'll be honest, I have a hidden agenda for asking the question. A couple things. I think first, let's talk about the difference between recorded and live.
Okay.
Because, and I'm not selling my show, but it's a good example. So when I first started my recorded show 7 years ago, it was a half hour, 45 minute show, recorded.
Yeah.
I just went out and did interviews. I wasn't concerned about time. I thought, hey, people are just blah, 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 right? They'll just want to keep. And I learned very quickly that they're not interested in watching a recorded show for much more than about 10 minutes.
Right. Yeah.
I had many close friends say to me, I love what you're doing. It's too long. People would say, I love what you're doing. Yeah, it's long, but I only watch a piece of it anyway. So they would go to a certain section that their friend was the one being interviewed. So they would watch that. So I started chopping it down. I got it down to about 15. I've got it down to about 10 minutes now. And sometimes shorter. So it's very to the point.
Yeah.
And viewership went way up when I started doing that, right? Now, that being said, when I was talking to my wife, I said, so I'm going to do the show live now, and I'm going to do it for 1 hour. And she was like, wait, I'm confused. You used to tell me how you got to go short, so that people watch, but now you're telling me live. But there's a difference between recorded and live. And the difference is that when we're live for an hour, you and I could sit back, we could record ourselves doing this, and we could graphic it all up nice and everything and pretty. I don't think people would watch a whole hour of us recorded.
No. I mean, it's
come in and out live, right?
Yeah. With the exception of today when we can't see the comments, we can see the comments and people can interact with us.
Yeah.
And it's live plus. It's not just being live. It's live with interaction with people watching.
Yeah.
And I think that's the magic part of it as well. But we know if you hit the right topic, and we do this regularly, if the show hits the right topic, then the viewers will start rising in the first 10 minutes, and then they will stay with us until the hour mark when we're live.
Right.
Majority of times. Because once you're hooked.
And there he goes again. They just don't like you, Steven. So experiment with something new. And Steven will now try to come back. And he's back, and I've got to resize you. So I'm working on that. So don't leave me. And I've learned a quicker way is to type in. Oops. People think I'm talking to myself, and they're like, what's that Burrows guy doing? Oh, really small there. Okay. Almost. I made you too small. Here we go. All right, now you're back. You're a little smaller, but carry on. Yeah. 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 Well, and I think too, it's like, one of the things I'm going to do or start doing, we talked about last week, was time stamping. Once the show is over, it's not live anymore. It's I can go back and timestamp in a bunch of stuff so that people can click where they want to watch whatever part of the show they want to watch, right? So there's advantages and disadvantages to live and recording, but I do think recording has to be shorter. Yeah. 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 Well, this has been an interesting broadcast. I guess that's probably the word. Yeah, and see, I never dropped out at all, but I know that there was some flickering going on, which I've had that issue before. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's click, and then they come in full screen, and then you have to shrink them down to fit wherever you want them to be. And like I say, some of my processor speed was maybe not cooperating, and that's why as I was trying to do things, it was very sluggish for me to move things around. So, um, uh, yeah, 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 interesting for sure. Yeah, I agree. It's nice to know who else is in the room, who's coming in the room, and you can see what's going out. And yeah, it's I think it just makes guests more comfortable because while you and I and Robert and a few others are used to it, we want to be able to encourage people who are watching to join us. And if they're not comfortable, they don't click that link to bring them in the room, right? So even on Be Live, I know people are just still afraid to come in front of the camera, no matter what. So the more comfortable we can, and Steven's gone again, so we're almost out of time here. Anyway, I'm just going to start wrapping things up. So this has been an interesting broadcast. If you're thinking of broadcast, calm, and we'll be back here again next Monday, and we'll likely be back on Be Live. And thanks everybody for watching and joining. Steven, I know you're back, but I'm wrapping things up. Stay in the room. We'll talk some more. Thanks everybody. Tomorrow I'll be live, 8 o'clock Eastern, and we'll be talking mental health as Bell Let's Talk Day is coming out on Wednesday. And I'm going to have many guests from many different mental health agencies here in Sarnia talking with us. And check out Steven Healey online as well. I think he's got a show coming up. He's busy every day. Just check out Steven Healey online. Thanks everybody for watching, and to my friend Steven who's in the green room, and Robert, wherever you are, thanks for joining us. Bye for now.